Sometimes it's hard to figure out the right info because every teacher has their bias, you know? So like every teacher is coming from a different place when they're teaching. They have a different student in mind. So they're thinking about in their head when they're making a video teaching you or even a course that they're creating. In their mind, they have a certain student that they're teaching in their mind. Now, a lot of the time when I create my sort of arguments against scales and teachers and stuff like that, the thing that I have in mind is the complete beginner. The complete beginner who can't copy one note, who can't hold a steady on command, who can't, if you give them a few notes taken directly from a song, they can't copy it. Or maybe they can copy 50% of the notes and 50% they can't, which still means they can't copy a note on command. This is the student I have in mind. So when I see courses and programs that talk about all the exercises and stuff like that, I'm just like, you're completely neglecting the most important group, which is the absolute beginner. The one that can't copy a note. Once you can copy a note, you sound okay. If you can copy notes from the beginning of a song to the end, which means you're staying in key as well, you sound okay. But let me tell you, that is the biggest struggle of a singer, copying notes from beginning to end. Then the next struggle is getting smoother, or like sounding more stable on those notes so they sound richer because you're on the note like 100% of the note of the time that it's held, which is the rhythm, instead of just like 50% and then you kind of slide off it. You know what I mean? So like stuff like that, which makes singers sound kind of shaky. Like they're in tune, but they're kind of shaky. Then that's more advanced stuff. But the very first thing for the absolute beginners, they can't copy pitch accurately. They can't just go, that's the pitch, and sing it back. They can't do that. And then the next step is they can't tie it in all the pitches of a song together. So even listen to live right now, go look up a live famous singer and you'll notice that sometimes they'll go flat during a performance. Okay, on YouTube or like a concert video of a live person, whatever, they'll go flat. Why is it that even professional singers go flat? It's because staying on pitch for an entire song is actually the hardest, is the main goal of a singer. It's the main struggle. It's not like an instrument where you play a note and it's always right, unless you accidentally hit the wrong note with your finger or something, which is like another struggle of a singer. And you have to memorize all the notes. That's the main thing for an instrumentalist. But for a singer, you have to not only memorize all the notes, but you have to find where they are in your voice and hit them accurately. Whereas on an instrument, you don't have to hit it accurately. You just have to hit the note and it makes the right sound. So all you have to do is memorize them, right? But as a singer, you have to not only memorize it, but you also have to hit the right note and not go flat or sharp. It's the main struggle. So when you see all the courses and programs that do exercises, they don't address this. And this is the main struggle of a singer. When they're going from beginner all the way to advanced, it is the main struggle. Because when you're training range, or when you're training vibrato, when you're training runs, or any other advanced things, you're still training them in the context of hitting notes accurately. Okay? And then they have to be trained in the context of phrases of the songs you're trying to copy. Which is another reason I don't like a lot of the way teachers teach with programs where they don't use songs, because you're not actually addressing the melodies and phrasing that occurs in songs. But anyway, back to my main point. Even when you're training runs, range, vibrato, those advanced things, right? Falsetto, you're still training them in the context of being really accurate on pitch. If you can't do pitch accurately, then you're going to have a range without a stable note. How can that, like, how does that sort of fit? It doesn't really match right. If you train vibrato, this isn't really focused in programs training vibrato. It's more the range thing. A lot of programs training range, like getting higher, but people can't sing notes accurately. And singing one note high, like when you do a scale, da 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 is like the end of the scale. It's like the high note at the end of it or something, which is the focus or the note you're trying to reach, as a scale goes up in key, or the vocalizing exercise, whatever it is. It's not the same singing, training a high note to be sung on its own as it is when you sing it in the midst of a song, with the phrasing of the song, etc., getting the notes accurate on the words that happen in the song, and the melody of the exact song, the moment when it goes high. It's a very different training, and that requires its own training to get it as it occurs in the song. So just learning to sing a note high using scales, it's an advanced thing, but you're still missing all the elements of the actual lyric and all those elements, right? Now, it will train your range if you keep using scales going up, 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 up. But why do that when you can use a song and just put the song down in key and then bring it up? Easy. Just use Amazing Slowdowner or another software application that does that, and done. You can train your range. You don't need to use a scale, because what's a scale doing? They're just going up in key, right? They keep changing key, going up. Why do it with a scale? They only did it with a scale because they didn't have song recordings back in the day when they created all this method of teaching. But now we have song recordings, MP3s, very easy to access. Put the MP3 on, go up in key. So context is really important, right? My context is that why are beginners getting left behind? Most of these singing teachers already know how to sing in pitch. They already knew how to sing in key. They didn't go through the struggle of having to learn how to sing in key. And if they did, the exercises that they give by giving scales and programs like that, and then even doing scales in class, when you pay money to do a class with the person live, they just make you do the scales that you could just buy from the program and do it. What's the point of going to them for a lesson if you're just going to do the program? I teach students the songs they choose. You're paying money for a lesson. Teach them the songs that they want to learn. Don't teach them exercises they can just do from a course. It seems weird, right? It seems like they're afraid to teach songs or something, or they don't know how to, which is what I think is the real deal. They don't know how to, and maybe it's like a fear of laziness, or just like a fear or laziness, sort of like, I don't want to have to learn these songs for these people, or something like that, you know what I mean? Or I don't want to have to listen to them sing off tune, because I don't really know how to solve that. So let's just make them do scales up and down, or improve their range a little bit, but then their singing doesn't sound better, because all they can do is sing higher, but they can't control their pitch perfectly across the whole song, which is the main goal. You can just put the key down and sound like a beautiful singer on any song if you can sing in pitch, but the song's too high for you. So range is actually not even like, it's not the goal. Range is like secondary to improve your range. It's not the main goal is staying on pitch for the whole song. So you could sing twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And you're like really comfortable low voice, and it sounds nice. It sounds like music, right? Or you could go, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And you can do more advanced stuff there with vibrato and higher range and runs, but the range is not compulsory. You can already sing, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. It sounds nice, right? It's still nice. Range is secondary. Most people that are doing these exercises are developing range, but they're not developing their ability to sing pitch accurate for an entire song, which is the main goal. It is the main goal. Okay? We've got amazing artists out there singing concerts live. Go watch on YouTube. They can hit the high notes, but why do they go flat throughout the song, even though they're professional singers? Because singing on pitch accurately for the whole song is the hardest part of singing. It's the most beautiful part of singing. It's the part that if you're missing, singing sounds wrong in some way, right? I'm not saying don't train your range. Of course you train your range. I'm not saying don't train advanced elements, vibrato and runs. Of course. But you got to get your pitch right. That's your context. It's always about pitch accuracy in the context of the songs that you're trying to sing. I'm Rashid Hayek, RBSingLessons.com. Don't forget the beginners, teachers. Pay attention to the beginners. They need the most help. Let's help them. And let me help you, beginners. I'll help you out, all right? See ya.